Parents will do pretty much anything and everything to keep their kids healthy, and understandably so. We get so stressed when our kids are sick. From stuffy noses to coughs, and especially fevers, the natural reaction as parents is to go straight to fight or flight, worry, and anxiety. It's this natural, stressful emotion combined with a generation of two of training a pattern that also sends so many parents right to the doctor's office or pharmacy aisle with their sick kiddos. You see, the biggest problem with our current healthcare system that trains us to turn to Tylenol, antibiotics, decongestants, and corticosteroids almost immediately is that while those things may help in the short term, they weaken and suppress the immune system and body in the long term. The truth is, God designed our kids to be healthy and strong right out of the gates. But they also have quite a bit of growth and development yet to go. Getting sick a few times in the first few years of life when the teeth are coming in or when the weather is changing can actually be a good thing that brings about some short-term struggles that add up to long-term gains. If you've had this internal struggle between going natural or going medical when your kids are sick, you most definitely aren't alone. Parents of today are more than ever looking for the answers and drug-free action steps and solutions that not only help in the short term, but make things better in the long term as well. Every parent wants to do what's right, helping our kids get through the illness as fast as possible and avoid them in the future. In this video, we're not only talking about loading up on all sorts of natural health, nervous, and immune system boosting actions during an illness, but methods where you can rest assured that you're helping your child build strength, resilience, and adaptability in the long term as well. Here's a story from one of our PX Docs offices about a patient named Jack that maybe you can relate to. He was in a consistent and constant cycle of sickness. This is his story and what his mom has to say. Starting at 18 months, Jack would have breathing issues when he got sick. He has been to the ER a few times to receive breathing treatments, steroids, and oxygen, along with being prescribed an inhaler. It seemed like he would get sick often and it would last longer than normal. A common cold would linger and could escalate to needing his inhaler. As a mom, I always worried when I would notice him get the sniffles for fear of it turning into a respiratory illness. And if it was a respiratory illness, I felt like I was always on high alert with his coughing and breathing, needing to judge if we needed to take a trip to urgent care. It was exhausting. I had so much mom guilt with giving him his inhaler so many times. I felt stuck with options on how to help him. We would use his inhaler multiple times a day to keep his coughing controlled and his breathing normal. He would have the humidifier going all the time and give him fever-reducing medicine that helped with inflammation, and it felt like these things were barely keeping the symptoms at bay. When we started going to a PX Doc's office, I knew we would receive care that would help heal Jack from the inside out and have lasting results, not just band-aids for deeper issues. We started taking Jack to PWC right around the beginning of RSV and flu season, and I knew the kids would be bringing home germs. I wanted to start working on his immune system for when he would get sick. When he did get sick, we didn't have to use his inhaler. He didn't suffer any breathing issues, his cough was hardly there, and he was over it pretty quickly. So much has changed in the short amount of time Jack has started care. I have confidence in his body to get through illnesses quicker and without needing his inhaler. I have peace of mind and don't worry when I know he might be getting sick. That's Jack's story, and it could be your child's story too. But how do we get there? So what is that answer to building a stronger, more resilient immune system? The order or sequence in which this must work is the part where very few parents or even providers are aware of is truly the secret to all of this. You can't put more complex methods of natural healing in play until the body and its central nervous system have mastered the basics or the foundation. So adding in all these supplements and detoxification protocols may be important, but they can't happen without these first four pillars being a strong foundation for the neuroimmune system to use them appropriately. Pillar number one has to do with having a healthy, adaptable nervous system. through neurologically focused chiropractic care. Since the autonomic nervous system controls and modulates every single cell, tissue, and organ in the body, especially the immune system, the benefits of chiropractic care become incredibly far reaching. You can best understand the multiple benefits of chiropractic by looking at it through the lens of a condition called dysautonomia. This is perhaps the most confusing part of chiropractic. Honestly, how can it be so simple? Most parents are so used to the current medical system where there's a different specialist and kind of doctor for every system of the body, an ENT, a GI, a neurologist, and none of them seem to communicate or coordinate very well together. In contrast, that's exactly why chiropractic care focuses on the nervous system. The central and autonomic nervous system are the air traffic control of our entire body, making a healthy nervous system the key signaling catalyst for the immune system and all the rest of the body. This is why in this sequential approach to health, we start with the nervous system before adding different supplements, diets, detoxes, and other great supports to the immune system. Getting the nervous system into a place where it can actually accept those good things is step number one. The second pillar to building a stronger immune system is prioritizing rest, particularly sleep. We all know what it's like to not get good enough sleep. You feel moody, easily agitated, and unfocused. Plus, little sleep takes a big toll on your physical health over time. Our bodies do some of their best work while they're sleeping, and that's as fully grown adults. But consistent poor sleep in children can contribute to digestive issues, immune system problems, focus and behavior challenges, anxiety, depression, and other health concerns. Sleep is an all-important catalyst for everything else you do to keep momentum in your health. I've heard it said that if sleep was a drug, it would be banned as a performance enhancer due to its incredible impact on how the body functions. It would be easy enough to simply say, get sleep. But sometimes it isn't that easy, especially when your nervous system is all out of whack and the sleep that we do actually get isn't that deep restorative sleep that we're looking for. That's why, once again, the order in how we do things is important. Yes, things that enhance the quality of sleep you're getting, do those things. But a foundational factor being getting your nervous system checked by a neurologically focused chiropractor. A third pillar to building a stronger immune system is exercise and play. If we all think back to our childhood, it was rare to not be outside, moving constantly during the daylight hours. Truth is, we didn't have much else to do. iPhones, live streaming, and Nintendo Switch were still up and coming, or they weren't even created yet. We had to build blanket forts, play neighborhood sports, ride bikes around town, climb trees. Compare that to now, and we can observe that the change over the last 20 years of how childhood is now set up to move less. Exercise and movement aren't just good for our kids' bodies, it's good for their brain and nervous system. Research shows the more kids move, the better they can activate brain pathways to key learning, focus, social development, and immune response. Plus, movement and exercise are massive catalysts for mood, sleep, and healthier foods, and eating healthier foods. And that's what leads us to that fourth pillar and final pillar, eating clean, healthy foods. This is a big one, and no doubt a focus of your family at some point. We like to divide this into 5 simple steps. Step number 1, eating nutrient-dense food, drinking plenty of water, minimize intake of processed sugars, and avoid trans fats and chemicals. Trans fats show up as partially hydrogenated oil in the ingredients list, and there's a short list of chemicals you want to watch out for, preservatives, different food dyes, and essentially anything else that is artificial. I like to think of it as, instead of being focused on the myriad of ingredients to watch out for, eat less processed and eat more natural food groups. Whole foods, things like fruits, vegetables, meats, dairies, raw dairy, sourdough, and eggs, just to name a few of them. If you were to walk into a grocery store, think of like Aldi, for example, The foods in the perimeter of the store are what you want to be incorporating more into your diet and less of the processed foods that are in the middle of the store. And don't get discouraged if you're not perfect. Think of it as like an 80-20 balance. Consistency over the long term is more important than the one-off birthday party where natural foods go out the window or those meals where it's just not to be found. It's about creating new, healthy, sustainable habits. Again, we're thinking long term. The little things we do each day build up into big things in our lives. And that principle applies to what we eat, how we sleep, how often we get adjusted, and everything else we've covered in this video so far. This is why we focus on the nervous system first with these 4 key pillars. They're the foundation for everything that follows. You can add in all the supplements, smoothies, herbs, and essential oils you want, but if your child's nervous system is stressed out, they're not sleeping, not moving, and not eating clean, nothing will work as it could or should. Or quite the same. The moment your child gets sick, the circle back and double down on these foundational pillars and basics here by making sure your child gets plenty of sleep, moves, eats clean, and most especially gets adjusted an extra time or two in order to get the nervous system and immune system functioning at their best. All of this may seem foreign and brand new to you now that as you're just starting out, but we promise as your pediatric and family neurologically focused chiropractic team is here for you every step of the way to help build a stronger immune system for your family. Parents of today are more than ever looking for the answers and drug-free action steps and solutions that not only help in the short term, but make things better in the long term as well. So if your child is struggling with immune health related challenges, we have resources and help for you. That's all for this video. If you're interested in learning more, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.